Hello everyone, Andrew Collishaw, homeopath and naturopath, and a very warm welcome to Body Talk newsletter for this week. Today I want to talk about a really serious issue, bowel cancer. And it's amazing, 80 people a week die from bowel cancer. And it's a really important topic to look at specifically because it helps us to address other issues that we need to look at when we're trying to improve our health in general and when we're trying to prevent illness and disease. Now, the chances are that you know somebody or have had someone in your family die from bowel cancer. It is really, really common in this day and age. Now, the sad thing for me is that bowel cancer is treatable, it's preventable, and it forces us to look at some of the basic fundamental naturopathic principles that we use when we're looking at health and we're looking at healing. This is where naturopathic medicine comes into its own, because we can address some of these underlying factors. So I just want to go through a few things with you, just quickly, but to give you an idea of how we go about dealing with such a significant problem that almost seems overwhelming. One of the most important things is to be aware of your symptoms, the symptoms of your digestive system. So do you get any bloating, diarrhea, constipation, pains in the abdomen, these sorts of things. Now, that might sound really obvious, but I've seen plenty of people over the years who perhaps, for example, their bowel movements, they go to the toilet once every 2 days sometimes. Now, that may not seem like a major thing, but if their normal routine is once a day and that stops and that changes, that means there's something amiss. Now, that may clear up in a day or two or a few days and get back to a normal pattern. But the point is that when these symptoms occur that aren't usual, it means that your body is not functioning as it should. And I don't think it's a sensible idea just to turn the other way or just to hope that things will pass. I mean, of course, for certain things you might wait a few days, but generally, when you have symptoms that aren't usual for you or seem unusual, you need to check these out with your healthcare practitioner. Absolutely, really important, even if they seem minor. So a bit of blood in the stool, if that is more than just a bit of spotting, then that is potentially really serious. You need to go and have that checked out. Now, some of you, I know because I've seen you, some of you are coming to see me for various digestive problems. Other people will have appointments with their specialists, a digestive system specialist. It doesn't matter at that early stage who you actually see, but you do need to seek advice about what to do with these symptoms. Now, of course, how you treat these symptoms is what's really, really critical. And as a naturopath, obviously we treat these naturopathically. Now, the other important thing I want you to think about and consider are symptoms that are unrelated to the digestive system. So I'm always on about, and you've probably heard me say 100 times, and I'll keep saying it, but we need to look at other symptoms in our body that are contributing to our overall health. So you may get migraines, you may have a skin problem, you may get eczema, you may have a liver problem, there may be emotional difficulties that are unrelenting, you may be chronically depressed, or there may be issues with anger and stress and irritability. These conditions give us an insight into what's happening into your whole health. So a holistic approach. We need to look at everything that's going on, because that will tell us something about the internal workings of your body. And when we look at the digestive system, we've got to be looking at these other symptoms or conditions that are going on for you as well. Now, I know many of you are taking supplements. It's just about everybody I see takes supplements. And health companies are particularly promoting digestive health. Now, I'm afraid one of the reasons for that is that it's very lucrative, and every second person that I see is on a probiotic. Now, let me just stress, the big problem with this is that it doesn't necessarily, and usually doesn't, address the underlying issue. If you can take a supplement and that does something to your symptoms, does it address the underlying circumstances that arose or allowed for those initial symptoms to arise? And the answer is in 99% of cases, no, it doesn't. So we've got to be really careful that you're actually addressing the underlying issues to symptoms. And it can be outrightly dangerous and not good for your health at all if you're treating things symptomatically. It's like if you feel that you're affected deeply by stress and getting really anxious and irritable and angry, and you take B complex. The question is, does that B complex actually help resolve your body's, and I'm talking physically and emotionally, does it help resolve your body's ability to deal with stress at a physical and an emotional level? B vitamins won't. They will just add into the physiological, biochemical processes. It's not going to actually help you better deal with your environment in terms of stress. Do you understand what I'm saying? We have to be very careful not just to be putting a bit of tape over a bucket that's got a hole in. Just, it will eventually leak again. Really, really important. So if you are taking supplements, just make sure you're taking high-grade supplements and supplements that are actually addressing the underlying issue. Now, what happens if you're not actually experiencing any signs and symptoms? What happens if your health is pretty good? Well, firstly, that's great, and I think we need to get over this hurdle of being a little bit on the apathetic side when we don't have a problem with our health. When things are going well, sure, we might do certain things, and a lot of us coast along, don't we, without being really proactive in terms of making sure that we stay healthy, making sure that we are doing things that actively will help prevent the onset of illness and disease, and in this case, bowel cancer. So if your bowels and digestive function is all pretty good, fantastic, that's really good. But we need to keep it that way. And it's not going to just stay fantastic unless you're thinking about ways of improving not just your digestive health, but your health in general. So a big push in naturopathic medicine is about prevention. And I know it's not that popular, but it's absolutely one of the pivotal points of naturopathic medicine is preventing the onset of disease. You don't go to bed one night and then wake up the next day with bowel cancer. It's a process. It has a beginning, and it's at that point that ideally we need to deal with it and address it so that we can stop it blowing up into something that is much more difficult to treat. So in conclusion, I just want to sum up very quickly. You need to address not just your bowel symptoms, but all the symptoms of your whole body, physically, mentally, emotionally. You need to find effective ways of dealing with these symptoms. And of course, that's the key. How you treat something is going to have a massive impact on the level of health that you experience, like in the short term, but also the longer term. And obviously, as a naturopath, I would encourage you to think about getting some naturopathic treatment for maintenance, for prevention, and also for the treatment of signs and symptoms. The other really important, obvious thing is don't ignore your symptoms. Okay, if you've got anything that doesn't seem quite right, or if you've got symptoms that are a little bit out of the ordinary, or that they come and go and then one day they just stay, so it's persistent, then you need to get that checked out, okay? It could be one of these things at the beginning of a disease process. And please don't wait. It's really, really serious. It's worth making the effort, taking the time, making that commitment to go and see your healthcare professional to say, hey, okay, what's going on here? Is there anything I can do? All right, really important. Now, for some of you, you will just love this special offer that I've got for you, only for a short period of time. I've got all the details in the newsletter, check it out, but I'm offering a free assessment to a limited number of people, and we'll have a close look at what's happening with your digestive system, and I will make some suggestions in terms of how we can actually help you to improve your digestive health. Okay, so this might be exactly what you're looking for, and I encourage you to take it up if it is. Again, I can only do it for a limited number of people, so give me a call at the office as soon as you can. All right. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this week's Body Talk newsletter, and I would love to hear from you with any comments and feedback. So I'll look forward to speaking to you next time, and remember, please make wise decisions for your health. Okay, talk to you soon. Bye for now.